Hello, welcome to our weekly Always Shine Your Light Equine Energy Point Education Series webinar. My name is Kay Aubrey Shemaine. I am the owner and director of Grand Adventures Ranch, a holistic equine wellness center in Sonoyta, Arizona. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about caring for your photopuncture equipment. Most of us use a system that we've purchased in the last 20 years. Might be called a BioScan system, a Sumerel system, an Avalon system, or an Enlight wellness system. It's been manufactured under different names, but it's all the same system. It consists of two different pieces of equipment, plus, for many people, a pole therapy cap, or what we call the happy hat that goes over the head. So the system comes with both a scanner that scans the body and tells us exactly where there's energy out of balance, or where there is a blocked energy point, acupuncture point, or where we have heat and inflammation. So it'll locate those problem areas on the body for us. And then this particular system, we use two different cluster heads of infrared and visible red light to bring that energy back into balance. That's just an overview of the system. The systems are pretty heartily made, but that being said, you've paid, some people have paid $5,000, some people have paid $14,000. You know, the price has changed over the years for their system, and that's quite a significant investment in the equipment. And so we want to just go through some simple precautions to help it last for over a decade. I bought my current oldest system in 1997, and it's still in great shape and doing work today. So just as an overview, first, use a really good heavy-duty carrying case. It's usually sold with one. Some people have gotten different parts at different times. However, they don't necessarily put them in the big cases. I highly recommend that if you don't have one, you invest in one. You can ship it. You can not worry about dropping it, getting it kicked, that sort of stuff. Store your system correctly. We're going to go into that. Be aware of where you have it and where you put it when you're working through a therapy session. Keep it clean. Keep your system charged. Keep it in a safe place. And then if you're traveling, use an approved lock. So, the carrying case, all right? A lot of people don't like to have a big heavy carrying case because it's heavy. But I'll tell you, it has saved my butt so many times when things have been moved around, something falls. I've seen them fall out of the back of a truck. I've seen them fall off of shelves. Nothing happens to the system when they're in these big camera cases. These cases also come with a really good hole in it to where you can put a lock through and lock it and keep people out. When you store your system, now the case that comes with it now has a space in the lid for your pole therapy cap. Keeps it nice and flat and safe. The older systems may not have that, but they usually still had space that you could put your pole therapy cap on top. We'll go into storing those if you don't have a case in one of our next sessions. Notice here though that we haven't just shoved our equipment back in the case willy-nilly. The cords and so on are pretty darn durable. They're made from guitar cords, but if the cords are left plugged into the cluster heads or into the wand and something is out of position and pressure's put on it, it can crack the wand or crack the connector into the cluster heads. So we usually take them off, lay them flat, okay? Also, there's holes in the foam. We put our crayons, our other scanning tops, the probes in there to keep them from rolling around. We use a big sponge, and there happens to be a nice little spot that we tuck that, and of course our charger and so on. But keep it all flat. Make sure when you close the case that no cords are sticking out. That's a big one. When the cords are flopping around, if you're in a hurry, it's real expensive if you have to go and replace those cords because you cut it off with a lid. Be aware of where you put your system. when you're, if you're at a big barn, um, you're around a lot of different horses, people, stupid drivers, don't just set your system down. Don't put it out of sight. They can get feet real easy with people who have sticky fingers. Don't put it where if a horse spooks, it'll get kicked, or if somebody's washing a horse, your system gets washed. It is electronics, so we want to take care of it. Um, all of these things, lots of dirt, dust, sweat, they're not friends of your system. You're going to spend a lot more time cleaning if you don't keep the case closed. If you're using the scanner, keep the other piece in the case. If you're using the light therapy unit, keep the scanner in the case. Just take care of it if you can. Keeping it clean, all right? I love carrying saran wrap and little baggies with me to therapy sessions. You never know when you're going to have to treat an open wound, a horse that's particularly dirty, or you're working around where it could accidentally get wet. All you have to do is either stick the cluster head in a baggie, or take a little saran wrap, wrap it around, or put the saran wrap around the wound of the horse. The light will go right through the saran wrap. It doesn't change the therapeutic quality of it at all. And if you do need to clean it without damaging it. Don't use really harsh chemicals. I like Clean and Green from the Amazon Herb Company, which is now Trivita. I use it for everything. It's safe enough to drink. I use it to clean wounds. I use it to clean my equipment. I use it to clean the floors. I use it for lots of things. But it also works really well as a general cleaner, even on the leather, on the metal, etc. If I really want to shine up the case, I'll use some Armor All. Armor All is great stuff for that. And every once in a while, it's a good idea, especially if you live down here where it's so dry, to take a leather conditioner like Lexol or something and really rub it into the carrying bags, because they can dry out as well. The little bags that wrap around your scanner and your light therapy unit. If you do need to clean the cluster heads, alcohol and Q-tips work great. Okay, you can take them, work in and around all of these little diodes. If you've got one of the old style units, you can pop that little piece of glass off, clean under there, clean up the unit, put it back in. Just use some needle nose pliers to pull that little ring out. You can buy more of those rings at almost any electronics or hardware store if for some reason you lose it. Sometimes the O-ring under there will dry out. You might have to replace the O-ring after 10 or 15 years. And it's pretty easy to do, but just take general care of it. Keep your unit charged. It's really annoying to have a call, can you come out and do my horse? You get in the truck, you run over there, and your unit won't come on. Okay? The older batteries could only be charged for 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and then you needed to unplug them. They were kind of like the old cell phones. If you left them plugged in too long, it wore down the battery faster. But the new ones, they can be left in as long as you want, though it's still good practice to maybe plug them in overnight and then put them back in the case. The newer the batteries are, the longer that charge will last. But even if I've had batteries that were 6, 8, 10 years old and they'd hold it, still you could charge them up and leave them in the case for a month or two and they'd be fine. I just expect every 5 to 10 years I'm probably going to have to go to Batteries Plus and pick up new batteries for it. I could send it back to the company, but why? It's a whole lot less expensive to go over to Batteries Plus and pick up a new battery and just put it in. It's pretty straightforward. And then keep it safe, all right? I've already had one system stolen from a car, and I lived where nobody stole anything. We didn't have locks on, nobody'd ever come into my house. But I think somebody knew what I was doing. They came into my car. The only thing they took was my massage chair and my therapy unit. So they had been watching me and knew what I had. But these systems are worth a lot of money. So don't just leave them in plain view. Throw a towel or something over them. And then at night, bring them into the house. Check and see if your automotive insurance covers them if they get stolen. Just be aware, because they are pretty valuable. And I was very fortunate. My homeowner's insurance covered it. I got a brand new one. I was good to go. But it doesn't always work like that. And put your name on it, okay? I take off the leather pouch, put the name right there on the back of the unit, because if somebody steals it, they very likely don't take the leather pouch off. And so they won't know to go under and remove it. And if you see somebody all of a sudden selling your system on eBay, well, then you've got a way to prove that it's yours besides trying to find the hard to locate serial number. So we recommend just taking one of those permanent pens in gold or silver and writing your pertinent details on the back. So that's it. That's how to care for your system. I'm sure there's things I've missed, and if you have any great ideas, put them on the Facebook page or give me a call.